What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gung-Fu Super Bros podcast.
I wasn't ready.
For fun food, martial arts, and pop culture.
For fun food?
Fun food.
I'm in for fun food and funfetti.
It's a new style. That's available. Fun food's available on, what was your name of your channel there, Marca?
On hoo-ha.
This is for all you need. Hey, Stevens, what episode is this?
This is episode 91.
Ooh, getting to a century. 91.
I know.
Man, that's a lot, man. Hey, Marca, say hi.
Hey, what's up, folks?
Enrique.
Hello.
And Super Producer Stevens.
Hi.
And remember, my name's Yvonne, guys. Well, Stevens, I want to come to you first. I want you to talk about your expertise, naked dudes, Chippendales. You finished it.
I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I haven't seen that many naked dudes.
Jeez, well, this sweater put a lot of backs on mattresses, guys. So, Stevens, Chippendales, you did what Enrique did.
It takes time to process.
You got a mental.
When it does, but when it does, it hits.
You got the picture. He got the picture.
All right. We started off strong, guys. So, Stevens, you watched not the documentary, but
Correct.
I was going to say live action.
The live action.
Chippendale show. How did it go, Stevens?
I can't even remember what it's called now, but I watched the Hulu show about what happened with Chippendales, and it gets a little crazy. Like there's some drama in that show. I could see why that was a story they wanted to tell. I could see why there's a lot of like people going crazy with how good they think they are, and this was my idea versus this was my idea versus I can make your idea better, so that should be something that you want. But then the original guy's like, yeah, but it's my idea and I want credit for it. And then it got into a little bit of murder and arson and
just a little bit of murder.
Just a little bit of craziness. Like it was, yeah. And then like, when I finished it, I was like, okay, how much of this was real? Right. Cause I was like, they take liberties when you're telling a story. And so I wanted to know how much of this really is what happened versus how much is, made up for the show to be more drama. No. Yeah. It's pretty accurate. Like, there's a lot in there that is what happened. There's some people who they took liberties as like the tearaway pants with
Wait, tearaway pants aren't real?
No. But who created them? So in the show that I watched, it's accredited to a character played by I can't even think of her name. I'll look it up when I can type. And then but it's not really her who they're credited to. They're credited to some like costume designer or whatever that just happened. So like there's a little bit, but like in terms of the arson and the murder and the bad business choices, because I don't know why. Like, why did he make such bad business choices? He just got hung up on like his ego was being hurt, right? Like that's what it felt like in the show, the way they told it. So he wanted to prove his things, and they printed like 500,000 Chippendale calendars that were wrong. And that part's true. And so he like lost money. So the calendars, well, this was part of the thing. Like it's not the pictures that are wrong. You got it.
Bro.
You got one still hanging up, and you turn it month by month. He proofed them, but didn't really proof them. He just kind of flipped through the pictures. But every month was printed with 31 days, and they printed like he had originally ordered 300,000 of those. And then when he went in, he was like, you know what? I'm going to make some real money. And he upped it. And they printed them all. And no one knew no one caught this mistake without printing. I don't know how you're not the printer and you don't notice that. That's crazy.
Well, he probably wasn't trying to take a deep look into everything, so he was just kind of thumbing through it real quick.
That's
Just
crazy.
Like, dong. Like he was probably.
He didn't even do that. The way they show it in the show, and I don't know like what the guy really proved, but he just like, yep, looks like all 12, and then he signed off on it, and then he changed the number, and just impulse, right? And that's what it seemed like. A lot of the decisions were based on was just impulse and being threatened, his ego being threatened, right?
Some might say that his ego was his best amigo.
I don't think it was, but yes, that's what he thought.
That's what he thought. So dark comedy, or just dark, or drama?
Not really even comedy, just drama. But I really enjoy the acting. Like it was well acted. Just the time period itself, like being there. So they're in New York during that time, and they're in Hollywood during that time. And that was really interesting to see. So they tie some stuff. I mean, it's not all 100%, right? But a lot of it is. And I was surprised to see that more of it wasn't kind of exaggerated for the show.
Sometimes those shows you think like, nah, that couldn't be real.
Yeah.
Like,
so next up, I'll watch documentary here and just kind of be like, wow.
And I got to see most of that. My wife watched that, and I was just kind of like, damn, dude, like these fools went like it's just wild, like you said. It's one of those things where people probably could have made money for a while, but instead one person wants to control everything, and it just kind of like falls apart or whatever.
Yeah, crazy.
But and I think the documentary is actually available on Hulu also.
It is, because it pops up on my thing, and I was like, is that what I was watching? I was watching Welcome to Chippendales, which is the show. And then Juliette Lewis is the actor who creates the tearaway pants in the show.
You think
who
that
didn't really exist?
Business card from there on, the person that actually did that was like, costume designer, creator of the tearaway pants.
Tearaway pants.
Like, that's what I do. Creator.
Why not? Why not?
The NBA still uses them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw some wrestlers use them just the other day. So
there you go.
It's still a thing.
It's a thing.
All right, Enrique. Now we heard about naked dudes. Now it's time to hear about old dudes making a comeback. Willow, how you feeling? How you feeling about Willow there, Enrique?
Willow's good. I'm having fun with Willow. I find myself looking forward to it. I have a app that I keep up with all my shows that I'm watching. So I go in and.
What app is this?
It's called TV Time.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like you just go in there and you pick your show you're watching, and then every time you watch an episode, you just click on that episode, and then it gives you a notification when it's about to come on TV, like an hour before. So every time I've caught myself a couple of times, I get the notification that the new episode of Willow is dropping, and I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, Willow, and I kind of look forward to it. So I've been having fun with the series on Disney. I recently watched the movie
for the first time.
For the first time, and then saw because I had heard about the show on Disney Plus. I'm like, well, let me check out the movie, and I think Kabarka, you mentioned it. And so, yeah, I actually I was like, damn, this is kind of dope. I kind of was, I was in from the beginning, and then the show's been good. The show, this last episode, you can kind of tell that it's going to go in a different direction with one of the characters. So I'm kind of interested to see where it goes, but I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Did you watch, was last episode last week or last episode this week?
Last episode last week. Because what day it drops on
Wednesdays,
today or
I
tomorrow?
think.
Wednesday. So I haven't watched the one from yesterday then.
But I thought it ended last week then. No, there's still more?
No, the week we're recording this is the last episode of this season.
Oh, okay.
So you guys got one.
Yeah.
Ooh. Does it feel like it's going to wrap up in one episode?
No, not after the last one I saw.
Interesting.
I think enough to tell the original tale, but I think they've spread out enough to be able to keep going.
Are any of you watching it?
Can. Yeah, I'm caught up except for the last one. Like I said, I thought it was.
Yeah, because what I'm wondering about is the prince, right?
Eric.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The last episode I saw is when you kind of see him like, oh shit, okay, what's gonna go on here? So, but no, it's cool.
I think it'll get wrapped up enough to where they're all together and stuff, but then I think there will be more to tell if they get rewarded that.
I think everyone in is really good, enjoyable. Like everyone does a really good job. It's been fun. I was worried it was gonna be a little I think I mentioned it, a little CW, like teen love stories or just those shows on CW, but no, it's not nothing. I mean, nothing at all like that. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. So it was a pleasant discovery for me. This whole thing. So yeah,
Something you weren't really expecting to watch or whatever.
no, not at all. I mean, I imagine I heard Willow before at some point, but it was never like, oh, I need to go watch that. So
That's cool. Barca, what did you think of it so far? Because you said you're caught up with it also.
I think it's a cool series. It is off the start going to piss off people, like right off the bat, because of characters' gender orientation, and like, this character. The character's a princess, but she's butch and she is a soldier. I dislike her character just because of her attitude. Like she's like this little spoiled princess, or who is, yeah. I mean, that's the nicest way to say it. She's a little spoiled princess and doesn't get to do a lot of the things, and she hates the kind of one of the lead characters in the series. And so I think that, I hope that the next episode, the final episode of the season, has something more redeeming, because I don't think she's a likable character, and I don't think that there's a little bit of character arc, but not enough where I'm like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm rooting for this character. In fact, I'm rooting for everybody else except this character.
And you don't think that's done purposely, though, for that character in some way, shape, or form?
It is, and I mean, if we go into Campbell's arc, the path of the hero and what they have to go through, it's interesting. And I think the only interesting thing that I liked with that character was, the princess is Val Kilmer's daughter, so Mad Mortigan's daughter. Mm-hmm. And so there's a part where there's a portal, and the girl has a chance to go into the portal, but like, no, we got to finish our mission first, and then we'll come back and help. And so, like, the promise of Mad Mortigan, I'm like, yeah, but then you have the real situation with him. So it's like, how are they going to make him work in this? Because I don't just want to see present day Val Kilmer with just a long wig.
Yeah, I
want to see what has happened to him. So I don't know. I'm torn. I like. There's a big, tall. I want to say he's Arab. I have not done the research, so. I like that character. He's kind of the Mad Mortigan of this series. I like him, who pretends that he's like this big old ladies man, and he got out of adventure. He got out of trouble by just being his cool self, but he really isn't. Who there's in the Spider-Man movies, Flash Thompson.
Yeah,
that little guy. He is a character in this. He's one of the actors in this. I really like his arc and kind of what he's gone through. So I don't think they've done enough for the princess or for me to like her the way I would want to like that one of the leads.
A little bit of a redemption, though, is kind of starting, right? On the last episode I saw at the end with her kind of endearing herself to what we know is, or who the baby grows up to be from the movie, right? Where she jumps with her. And you see a little bit of the redemption starting there, because up until that point, she's like fighting against everything. Like she knows it all, and she's a know-it-all, and like no one's gonna tell me what to do, and blah blah blah. So that was kind of like the first time you see her kind of give into the fact that maybe I'll think of others before myself.
And she's written.
And I don't know how much of it continues, because that was at the end of the episode.
Exactly.
So.
But she's written as she's a kid from today's world, right? Mm-hmm. She's that like, no, I know better. This is what I should do. If I was in charge of this kind of thing, this is what I would be doing.
Because Even her sexuality, right? She's fighting against her sexuality the
Yeah.
whole time. It's
And,
like,
and that's the least offensive thing. It's not even offensive. It's like, I just want you to be happy, dude. Live your
yeah,
truth.
exactly, exactly.
Like that, your girlfriend, you know, I feel bad for the girlfriend. That's what affects me in this thing. Cause her girlfriend is she's the redhead
She's
from
in
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
She's in Solo.
Mm-hmm.
And so she wants to be with this person, but like that princess she is engaged to Flash Thompson.
Oh.
And Flash Thompson is kind of like this little proto wizard because he's been messing with the occult since he was a little kid, and he got possessed by this demon. So it's like I don't want to see the character suffer, but like I need something for me to latch onto.
And maybe, like you said, that maybe that's her story arc, right? Is she's dealing with that and
Yeah.
kind of figuring it all out to get to that point where you can, like you said, you just want her to be happy, and in turn, the other people in her life to be happy because of, like, especially if somebody wants to be with her and she's kind of like fighting it or whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's cool. And there is talk of Val Kilmer being in the show, or is that already for sure happening?
There hasn't been officially a season 2.
Okay. Oh,
He was supposed to be in the show,
okay.
but because this was a COVID show, like, I think, I don't know if what got filmed first, like the Top Gun or this. Probably Top Gun.
Okay.
And so he was like, yeah, but then like it seems like they shut production down or like they had to wait. So he's like, I can't do it right now. Or I don't want to expose myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's just, it wasn't in the cards for the season, but I'm hoping he shows up, and I'm hoping it's more than just him. Yeah. I don't know how he will handle acting when he can't use one of the most important things to act, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they got his son to be Mad Mardigan's voice in the show, just like in the documentary where they use his son's voice as him because they sound very similar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In fact, I don't know, but maybe in Top Gun, I think it might be the son also talking for him.
Oh, wow.
So if someone could check on that for me.
Interesting. That's really cool, though. I didn't know that was the case for the documentary because, like you said, they sound so alike. Whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe that's how you make it happen on the show, also. I mean, I don't know if they're that similar or whatever. That'd be really cool. It'd just be cool to see them in there, I guess. I mean, on the show. That'd be kind of dope to bring. But again, not just to like shake a hand or walk by the screen, but actually have a part in the show or whatever.
Well, something happened. Like when he was younger, he left his family, he left his kids, and the princess, the little girl, the baby, right from the movie, and jumped into this other world. And we don't know why. We just know that he left, and so his daughter and his son, for the most part, are dealing with him not being there, and the decision of Mad Mardigan to like have faith in these people that they're going to protect the Alora Dannon. And so it's kind of like in Last Jedi, where it wasn't happily ever after.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's some interest in that. There's something interesting in seeing how the story goes, but I also don't need it to be bleak. Like I don't need my Luke Skywalker to be an old curmudgeon who was afraid of life. I don't need Mad Mardigan to be a character who left this world into some different realm or dimension, and then when he comes back, he's obviously present day Val Kilmer. I don't know. So like Enrique, I enjoyed the series. I'm working on a book right now, and I have to make some changes because things are very similar to things that happened in this season of Willow.
It's like they got in your brain, bro.
Well, no, but here's the thing. What all that means is that it wasn't as unique a story as I thought. That somebody else picked it up.
So you got to make some changes to make it more unique.
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
So,
I had time to. Oh, go ahead.
well, just to clarify, Val Kilmer's voice in Top Gun is AI generated.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. And most of it is typing, so that's partly why they felt comfortable. And then Val Kilmer was supposed to be Mad Mardigan up until pre-production or whatever. And then because it was filmed during COVID, he was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to be able to come out." And so they kind of wrote it in a way that if they get more time, they can bring him in eventually if it works out to where he wants to do that.
Dude, speaking of COVID, man, are they just picking scarier names on purpose?
Oh my gosh.
It's called the Kraken variant. I'm like, really? Kraken? We're gonna go with that? We can't just you can't give me numbers? Like
I thought the last one I saw had like a whole bunch of numbers and stuff, but they're calling it the Kraken.
I got a thing where like of course that like every other variant, you can't do nothing about it. None of the
Lordy.
It's like the Kraken.
Bro, you got to turn off your InfoWars app, dude. Just sends you the worst thing.
It gives me the good stuff, bro. That's where I find out all my information.
Jeez, I got my supplements.
my drops, my drops, bro. I gotta get it. Made millions of dollars off them drops, bro. Maybe we need to drop some drops. We need to drop drops, bro.
Yeah, and guess what? Has to give all those millions away.
No, but it wasn't because of the drops. It was because when he said about the other thing, though. But yeah, you're right. You're right. So I had time to catch up with something that's actually dropping here at the end of the month, and I again one of those things that I watched one episode and it was good. I just like everything else. There's so much to watch, and it was funny because Manny, when he was on here, was telling us it was a good one, and I went back and watched Mayor of Kingstown, sorry, and it is awesome. It is really, really good. If even 10% of this show is true, like does this happen in actual places like this? You're like, wow. But it's all about a town where in an 11-mile radius there's 4 jails. And these guys, Jeremy Renner's one of the main characters, and his brother basically kind of communicate between communicate. They're the communication between the jail, the people outside, the probation officers, the correction officers, like everything runs through them, and they call the main guy the mayor because he's more like influential in the town than the actual mayor is. And things start going wrong and things start happening, and it's like the all these, like they're the ones that keep the peace, and it's just funny to see them go to like the gang leader outside that runs with one crew inside, and the essay that runs with the other, and like he's basically, and he goes talks to the correction officers, and it's just kind of, and he has his own things he's dealing with. So it's a pretty cool show. It's dark, it's gritty, but it's awesome. It's on Paramount, and season 2 is dropping here at the end of the month. And where season 1 ended, how it ended, they got a lot to go with. So I'm excited about that. We'll see after season 2, right? Because of like, man, those pictures that Jeremy Renner is sharing, man, he looks bad. Like I thought he just kind of had an accident, but I was like, yo, like it was bad. So what happened? It wasn't a snowmobile; it was a snow plow.
Mm-hmm. He got run over essentially.
But how? Like, I understand. I didn't read into it, so I don't know. Does anybody like what happened? Like, because then we also had the founder of DC Shoes. He passed away.
Oh yeah.
But that was a snowmobile accident, right? Like, and I imagine he's probably going, doing whatever. Who knows? I don't know. So I shouldn't say anything. But he passed away too, and I'm like, man. I mean, the only reason I remember that guy is from Robin Big and Rob Dyrdek.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was also the drifter, right?
Yep.
Like he had the car, right? Or rally. No, it was the drifting. Yeah, he did the drifting.
He just drifted places to place.
Yeah. So, but what happened to him? Did he just
somehow loses control of it, and the machine crushes him. Like it flips and he crushes him. Wow. And so it crushes like the left part or like half of his body, lungs, organs. So really he should be gone. Like it's 1,000,000 to 1. Just sheer luck that he made it past that. So it's
an idea of how he's going to be after, right? Like this might be one of those things that like,
well, it's gonna be a while until he can heal his body, right, and then do the physical therapy to get back to stuff.
That's rough, man. That is crazy because the pictures that they show online of him, you're just like, yo, like this is rough. Like, he looked really, really bad. I guess he shared a picture of all the like the people in the hospital that have been helping him and stuff like that. And he looks so bad in the middle of it. You're like, yo, what happened? Like, I guess I just didn't hear how severe the accident was. So it was just kind of crazy to see that or whatever. But so Hawkeye and stuff like that, it's going to be a while before any of that, but hey, like luckily he's there and he's going to have to work hard to get back. But, for the people that were like, oh, cause that was in the works, right?
Yes. There's still Avengers stuff that are down the pike, down the road, if you will. So, speed recovery. As of the recording of this, both Quan and Michelle Yeoh won Golden Globes for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
I got to see his acceptance speech, and cool. It was very moving. Yeah, he says that he thanks the person that got him his start, because Steven Spielberg is in the audience for Fabelmans, and he's like, "Thank you, Steven, for giving me my start." Originally, he was his brother went in to go audition to be in Temple of Doom, and he's like running lines, and he's just being more charismatic, and they're like, "Hey, kid, you want to come in?" Yeah, and so he's like, he himself says after things didn't basically go his way, he started thinking, was this just a fluke? Was this super lucky? And 30 years later, the two directors are like, take a chance on him, and now he's at the at the Beverly Hilton or wherever the Golden Globes are, receiving that award.
And did the movie receive any awards? Do we know who got Best Picture? I didn't see all of it. I saw some of it, but I didn't even think about it.
To be honest, I didn't even check. I was excited for our two heroes.
Yeah. Hey man, Jared Carmichael made sure to make it super uncomfortable too, so that was good. Woo! I was like, and he went after Scientology. That was wild.
What did he say? What did he say?
You know what? You can Google it yourself, buddy. We don't have to repeat it here.
Well, we're not.
Nope. Hey, I will gladly talk about mafia stuff and cartel stuff. I'll mess with.
No one listens to this, bro. It's fine.
Look, hey,
they have machines that can Google that read our things, man.
Nah, we lost our phone number because nobody calls it. It's fine, bro. Just talk about it, bro.
So, Stevens, who won Best Picture?
Best Picture was The Fabelmans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What the fuck is The Fabelmans?
It's
stories. It's basically us.
No, it's Steven Spielberg's life story.
Oh,
is
directed by Steven Spielberg.
Faithful. Is it? Have you heard anything about it though?
Of course, it won, right?
It's an awesome movie.
Oh, really?
Have you seen it?
I've not watched it.
It's an awesome movie. Have you seen it? No,
I've heard reviews. I've heard
everything coming out is that it's awesome.
Really?
It's a Steven Spielberg movie,
he's
and
like,
it's the story
back.
of his life. Who knows that more than he does?
That's a good point. Okay, and
so it's just a story based on his life, but like characters with different names and made up names and stuff, I guess.
Yes.
That's cool. Is there like a part of the life that it focuses on in the sense of like
it's him as a kid, essentially.
Becoming a filmmaker. It's his relationship with his mom and his family, about how he started to want to make films and become a director and
nobody in his family was in the business, right? Or were they?
There's like an older cousin that was in TV.
Okay.
But it wasn't like, oh, that's Jimmy Spielberg.
Gotcha.
But he shared an office with or he worked in the office with John Ford. Filmmaker John Ford, The Searchers, all these great cowboy movies. Racist cowboy movies. And so he goes and he meets him and he gives him a little bit of advice, and he's like, look, you don't want to make TV, you want to make big movies, and so go here.
Oh, okay. How about I see actually have I didn't know what it was, but I saw that on like available for rent and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to check that out. Is that one the favorite for the Oscars then? Is that what people are thinking?
I would imagine so. Like the other best motion picture dramas that were there was Avatar: Way of Water, Elvis, Tar, and Top Gun. So if those are the top dramas for Golden Globes, they're usually about the same, right?
Do they have a list
Oscar.
of movies that are up for the Oscars?
I don't
yet?
think Oscar announcements have been made yet.
Okay. So we're still seeing if RR makes a push or whatever, but you're
Mhm.
saying that they're pushing something else.
Yeah, as far as I know, they were pushing something else. SS Rajmouli was on. He was just on. Not Fallon, the one that comes after Seth Meyers.
Okay.
He was on Seth Meyers, and he won an award, like Best Picture and probably I think Best Director in New York.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so
I mean, that'll be interesting if they make that push because the list is a lot longer now than it used to be, right? Like
you can have up to 10.
Okay, doesn't mean you have 10, but you can have up to 10.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And kind of a wide variety of things. I don't know if it's 10 for international movies.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That might still be the number or whatever.
Yeah.
So when you said racist cowboy movies, it reminded me of something. Did you guys ever buy the TV guide to get like the 3D glasses when they would do like an actual 3D movie on TV?
I never got the TV guide. I got 3D glasses for Something Elvira and 3D glasses for Rolling Stones.
Oh, really? Okay. They showed and I think it was Hondo. I think it was that's a John Wayne movie, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was like for one time only, Hondo in 3D, but you had to buy the TV guide for that week so you could actually get the glasses and watch Hondo in 3D or whatever. I remember doing that because my dad, it was a must. I had to buy a TV guide every week. That was my job.
But only one person in the house, if you got a TV guide, could watch it in 3D.
Ain't nobody watching Hondo but me. Like my dad didn't want the TV guide for Hondo. He wanted some sports. And he wanted to know when the game was on. Even though it was basically on the same time every time. I remember I had to always go get a TV guide. Like that was my thing. Damn TV guides, bro.
What was the TV guide? What was the purpose of a TV guide?
Okay. So you know when you are watching cable and you go to the channel that has everything that's on?
Yeah.
That was TV guide.
For the month or for the week? Oh, for the week.
It was kind of like the Playboy. It had a little bit of like stories, and then it was just all guy. You could turn it sideways and it would fold down. Turn it it's like, yeah, USA. But that's how you would know what was on TV. Yeah,
well, and there was only, I guess it's hard to comprehend now because there's just so many channels. But back in the day, there wasn't, right? There was a handful.
And it had everything. It truly did have everything you basically needed on that thing. Like it was a way to find out what to watch and when.
And then it started to incorporate like HBO, like your pay channels too. And then I think once cable came in, it started slowly going.
Yeah,
it doesn't include, like it would include main channels, but not like random weird small channels.
Well, with cable, you started to get that channel where you could see it there.
And think about like a Beckett back in the days. Did you ever get those?
I fucking love Beckett's. Yeah,
I love Beckett too. Beckett was your baseball card price guide, and he'd be like, "Oh, 1987. Oh,
yeah,
cool." And I remember, it was like mint, near mint, and something, right? Like three, like.
But that's the bullshit. Is that you would always like you were grading your own stuff better than it is.
But it was cool because it gave you an idea, right? And it had the little arrows like it's been up since last month. And you're like, oh, yeah, my car's got like. I used to love Beckett, bro.
I love Beckett's, bro. I love. And then they got whacked. Because like not every card would get listed.
Yeah, same thing with the cable, right?
Yeah.
So I remember I would truly every weekend I had to jump on my bike Saturday morning because I think they came out on Saturdays, the TV guide, or maybe Friday. But I had to jump Saturday morning, go to 7-Eleven, and hurry back because my dad wanted to know what was going to be TV that day. So I'm driving back from 7-Eleven, and I'm literally no handlebars, just because I'm cool.
Yeah,
enough.
fucking yeah, fuck yeah.
But I start looking at the TV guide, and I must have just zoned out, and I slam into the back of a car. I mean, like fucking full force into the back of this car. It flips me forward. I fucking smashed the back window and I fucked that car up. Oh my God, dude.
It was a parked car?
A parked car. I mean,
and you broke the window? The back window?
No, dude. It at least like I heard that. I didn't look at anything because I fucking jumped on my bike and with that bent ass tire, I fucking drove my ass home. I'm sure somebody came out, dude, and was like, the fuck? Like it was, dude. Oh my! It was like 3 blocks away from my house, or maybe 2. Dude, I didn't go out for like the whole weekend because I was like, dude. And then my dad's like, "What's wrong with your bike?" I was like, "I hit a thing." And I'm like, half a shoulders busted out and shit, like one eye's hanging, like I got blood, like dude, I hit that damn thing so hard. I
bet it was so loud.
Oh, dude, it had to be because I'm telling you, I was flying, but I just that TV Guide article, it got me.
You were reading it, so you were reading it.
He was a Hondo.
I was literally into the TV Guides because the TV Guides were like about this size, right?
Yeah, they're
magazine. It wasn't
they're
like
digest-side. No, they're digest-side. Sized.
Like, oh, this is easy. I can totally look at this while I'm riding my bike, but I just got too into whatever I was reading. I'm like,
when we're driving down to LAFC games, keep the TV Guides away from you.
Yeah, keep the TV Guides away because I'm driving to the back of a car, bro. Not even think twice. I'm like, who shot JR? And I was like reading it, and then bow, bro, like just smashing the back of that bitch, dude. Oh, I remember I was hurting for so long, dude. And I couldn't tell anybody, like because I was gonna admit that I literally wrecked somebody's car or whatever.
Too bad this was before cameras.
Oh, dude, it would have been amazing. It would have been because I know that thing. I mean, it flipped me.
You would have gone viral, bro.
I was gonna say you could have been the viral sensation.
Somebody when they found out who it was, bro. That's what would have happened. They were probably some damn Monte Carlo.
And they were probably out there looking too all weekend, going, "Where is that motherfucker on a bike? Let's find that."
How was I driving in a Barca with a bent ass wheel on it? Dude,
so do you remember what house it was? Like you could go to it still?
Oh yeah, totally. Dude, that shit's ingrained in my head forever. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like I could go to just stop and like I know exactly the house where I hit that fucking thing, dude. On Walnut Drive, I know exactly.
You never went in and said, 30 years ago when you got that dent and broken back window. That was me.
No, Stevens, I didn't do that. Are you crazy?
I knew it was you.
Exactly. Hey, ¿qué vato? What happened, dog? Like, hell no. Dude.
You slipped up one last time.
Nope, not a chance, bro. Our fucking TV Guide, guys. I almost died for a TV Guide.
That's awesome.
You never saw a TV Guide, Enrique? Like you never?
No, I mean I heard of them, but I never actually.
Yeah, they were little. They were. I don't know how.
We never had them. I mean, my parents.
They were about the size of a little bag of chips.
No, like a good size, like the normal bag of size of chips. I think not the big one, not the little one, like the normal one.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Reader's Digest, good call, dude. My uncle used to get Reader's Digest like crazy, bro. I used to see those at my uncle's house all the time too. Well, that was just like current news.
No, it was articles. They had curated articles from other places, magazines and stuff. Oh. And so it was always the best stories, like none of the crap stuff.
So like Time, Life, everything put together in one. That's a smart ass idea. So they didn't even come up with stories on their own.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I'll look into it, but they may have. But they also had like it was. Well, no, I thought they had their own stories. Now I'm gonna look. Hold on.
You ever see those, Enrique?
No.
No, just the goddamn Beckett's, right?
Just the Beckett's, bro.
I'm gonna assume you didn't see a wizard one either, right? Weren't those the ones?
Let's talk about some wizards.
Beckett's for comic books.
But it was also a magazine.
No. It was called the Wizard. The Wizard.
No, it was called Wizard, the Guide to Comics. And at the end, it was the price guide. But then it would be like, here's a top 10 of the best comic book stories, the top 10 artists, the top 10 writers.
You would have loved it. List all day, bro, in the Wizard. You would have loved that. Bro. Always list. But the Beckett had articles too, because the cover guy, like whoever was on the cover. And
I never read them, but they were in there. Yeah.
Because they had some cool articles, bro.
Yeah. We know, Enrique, you didn't read them.
I didn't read, bro. Surprise.
But then picture books? I find Waldo like nothing.
How did you not get into comics, Enrique? Like, I still don't understand that, bro.
Because I didn't like reading, bro. What do you mean? It's not a big mystery. I think you can
but I
figure
guess
that one
that's
out.
like the closest you can get, right? So like not having to read or whatever. You know?
I know, but I think comics to me were just cool pictures. I just like pictures, you know.
Yeah.
So
I
So,
get
but
it.
my I Spy books, ooh.
All right, Stevens, did Reader's Digest have their own articles?
So, Reader's Digest was a series of hardcover anthology collections published by the American General Interest monthly family magazine, Reader's Digest, and distributed by direct mail. Most volumes contained 5, although a considerable minority consisted of 3, 4, or 6 current best-selling novels and nonfiction books, which were abridged specifically for Reader's Digest. So the series was published from 1950 to 1997. So it's not even really like they may have had New York Times articles and stuff in there on occasion, but most of it sounds like it was like abridged novels or novellas. Because that's what I was gonna say is like
I would have to buy.
they
like
would publish short stories too, like it was stuff like that.
Didn't they have chunks of? So did they also like you had to buy the next one to get the next part of the story, or no?
I don't. It doesn't sound like that's what this is, but
Short stories.
yeah, it sounds like they would put short stories or novellas or like novels, but abridged, right? Where you just kind of tell the story without all the stuff, like a movie version, right?
do those stores still have that half of an aisle racks of fucking magazines
They're all
they used to
porno.
have back?
Not that.
Do those exist?
They
If you go to an Albertsons or you go to
Yeah,
a kind
do
of
they?
a more major one, yeah.
Oh, I
Do
love
they?
going
Okay.
and looking at that still, bro. Like
Yeah?
still want to like, oh, it's there. Like, oh, this magazine. Like, oh, the Godfather.
I don't remember seeing them anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of hidden though. You're right. I think it's not because you don't see 35 kids at it anymore. Because I
I
remember
know.
like, hey, bro, like I want to see this. Like, I want to see that too, dog. Like, let me check it out. Buy something, you bastards. And then like shut you out and you're just like reading the magazine in the store or whatever.
Well, you know how
Mini
you
Tucker
just
magazine.
you know how you just got me that Hot Import Nights. There was a Hot Import Nights fucking magazine I used to get all the time.
Bro, it's if you know, you know. Dog.
If you know, you know, bro.
If you know, you fucking know, guys. Okay, do any of you guys do any of the local news apps by any chance? Like where they send
No.
you like, hey, this is going on or whatever.
No.
I don't know why I do, but I'm gonna tell you that they sent another one for a missing teen or like a kid, and I'm like, bro, is something going on in our town? Like, do we have to like? Because I feel
I think
like
it's everywhere. It's everywhere, bro.
I know. Yes, I don't think we're like anything special, but what I'm saying is like, because Stevens, remember when we went to one of the events that we had to have with one of the clubs that we run that they talked about that guy made his movie about trafficking and how it's a big problem in Bakersfield.
Yep.
Like
well,
the
that's
child
what I was going to say. I think some of it is that. I think some of it is kids being their own, I don't know, where they think they know everything now, right? I guess we've always thought that when we were kids too. But I think they take off. I think they just they take off and they don't tell people. I think a lot of it is like that. And then, but then the trafficking too, like it's a serious thing and it happens all the time.
I think you guys are asking way too many questions. All right. There's nothing bad happening at all. Nothing to see here at all, guys. There's no phone. There is no little bowler hat man stealing kids.
Did you ever once, and I'm asking sincerely, I never had the idea of running away from my house. Like that shit never crossed my mind. Do you ever remember a time growing up where you were like, fuck this, man, I'm leaving?
My grandma cooked bomb ass fucking meals every day. I wasn't going anywhere, bro.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not like we had a lot of shit, but like,
No, yeah, I know.
And my parents were strict as fuck. Like,
I know.
I wouldn't say nothing, but when I walked away, I'd be talking shit. Like, you know, but I never.
Well, I was afraid to attempt to run away because I'll get my ass kicked. That was the whole point.
Vete, pendejo, vete.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bitch, go, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's how my mom was too.
Yeah.
She would have packed. If you think it's better out there, I will pack your bags. You can get the hell out of my house. And then you're like, no.
Anybody who felt like that. Like, I think if one of my friends would have been like, fuck, then I'm running away from the house, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, what?
You fucking
What?
idiot. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
My daughter, it's funny you mentioned that because my daughter was just, we were just talking about this last night. My daughter was like, yeah, I remember the time when I was, she was probably 4 or 5, if that. She's like, I remember one time when I was little, I started packing a bag. She said I was going to run away. I was so mad at you guys. She's like, but then I got sidetracked and I started playing with my toys and I forgot all about it. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
That's all it took.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think our kids have said dumb shit like that, and me and my wife are like, go ahead, motherfucker, go, stupid
Yeah.
ass. Like,
I call your bluff.
right ahead, dog. Go outside right now in the dark, bitch. Go outside right
Yeah.
now. See how it is, dog. See how it is. Like, just go ahead.
They can't go through. They can't walk through the house without turning lights on because it's too dark.
Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Like, for everything that we do to protect our kids, we're fucking. I'm speaking for mine at least. I'm making them dumb as shit. Like, good fucking Lord, bro. I was taking care of myself like at 5 or 6. And it wasn't that my parents were bad. It's just they had to work. Like, that was just reality, right? So it was kind of like, get your ass home from school, lock all the fucking doors, don't answer for anybody. And this was without a ring, without like a doorbell.
Right.
Like
No cell phones.
I
No.
couldn't even answer the phone. My mom didn't even want me to answer the phone, so she couldn't even call me to check up on me because she didn't want me to answer the phone. And
Yeah, if you answered the phone, she would have been like, why the hell is your ass answering this phone?
Aha! I told you not to.
you know, and it's like, it's one of those things where like, and you guys, I told you guys that I lived on microwave fried chicken forever, but it's because I had it was shit that I could make. I was like, ooh, get a little Ritz cracker, put a little bit of cheese on that bad boy.
So what is it though? Is it
This guy
like
does Ritz crackers.
obviously we know better?
Chicken biscuits. What was it, Stevens? Chicken biscuits.
Chicken and a biscuit.
Chicken and a biscuits.
Yeah,
Those
chicken
are
and a
bomb,
biscuit.
dude.
Yeah, right. They still
Those
sell
are
them.
fucking amazing, dude. They're too good.
But okay, sorry, Enrique. What's your question?
No, I mean, because I think about this all the time. Like we grew up a certain way, and obviously at the time we hated it, but we can acknowledge that it was for the best.
Did you hate it though?
At
I
the
didn't
time,
hate it.
hell yeah.
I did.
I mean, at the time, because my parents were really strict with me.
Mm-hmm.
So you're young. You wanna. I mean, I had friends. I had good friends.
I
They
mean,
were
that's el
good
diablo.
kids.
Like,
No, they were good. Well, that's the thing is they were good kids. I wasn't trying to get in trouble or anything. But I couldn't do anything. I couldn't talk on the phone. I was school. I was home, and then that was it. And they wouldn't even let me go do stuff with cousins even until I got a little bit older.
because you were a bad influence.
No, I mean, like I said, everybody was good. I mean, maybe my uncles were a bad influence because they used to get me fucked up when I was 12 years old. But whatever. It's beside the point.
You had to fight other kids that were 12 too. Nah, bitch.
No, but at the time, I mean, you're young, right? You want to do more than you get to do. Is all I'm saying.
But
and my parents were super strict.
My parents were more strict than I feel like my wife and I are. But because of life, it gave me more opportunities to just do shit by myself that I think taught me lessons that I could use later. Like, they didn't want to leave me home at that age, but there was nobody else to watch me. So I had to learn how to start cooking a little bit. I had to learn how to wash, how to clean, because even though I was by myself, it was like, the house better be fucking clean when I get home. Oh, shit,
Yeah.
Okay, so I had to figure that out. Like, so it's like, I think that has a lot to do with it too, is they were strict, but life made them have to let me do stuff. Like, in that point, like riding bikes was normal, right? So, okay, just come home.
Oh man, I wish I could ride my bike right now. It's a fast trip.
Oh.
Go get a big old soda, and
Do it. You can
and
do
check out
it.
the comics. No, and check out the comics.
You can do it.
it.
You can do it. Why don't
No.
go get your bike and do it?
No, dude, it's not that. It's the freedom.
Yeah.
The freedom of being like, I'm gonna go check out some comics. I'm gonna get some of that penny candy. I'm gonna go. I've got $2. I'm gonna go play Ninja Turtles. I'm gonna go play whatever.
I'm gonna drive my bike through that one street with that one girl that hangs out in the front yard. Like none of that stuff exists anymore, bro. That's the thing.
But why? Why?
Because everything's here.
Yeah.
You don't have to go get your comic book anymore.
Yeah.
You can just do it here. Like I get my magazines on my iPad, and that's why when I go to Albertsons sometimes, I make myself go to the magazine thing to just be like, oh, dude, I miss this. I miss getting a Beckett and go getting my costume and being like, yo, shit, 35 cents, dog. Why work? Like doing that, like, you know, that I think it's because those opportunities aren't presented for the kids anymore.
And so it's not that like, because I try not to act like, oh, our way was better, because obviously we're gonna, it's just different, right? It's just different circumstances, so it's to nobody's fault, but it's just cool experiences that we can think back to, because I remember, like you said, you start just going on with your friends on your bike, and it's like, dude, I'm running wild out here. Like it's my world, and I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do, you know. And those are good times. And and your parents don't know. Like I used to do when I was a freshman in high school. I don't think my parents I don't think my parents are ever gonna listen to this, so it's gonna be okay if I say this. But I used to ride my bike to my girlfriend's house when I was a freshman. And my grandma used to get so mad at me because she would because my grandma lived with us growing up, and she would stop, bro. And she would get mad because she would see that I would leave, and then she would never like rat me out. That was cool about my grandma. She would never like rat me out, but she would get onto me. But I would leave, you know, and then I would just come back or whatever. And even I would go to a friend's house or whatever too. And that was so much fun. And cause I was out on the streets, you know, and this is LA. So it's like a bigger, you know, you're dealing with a lot more shit, like more I'm just saying, like traffic, like bigger streets, you know, I'm crossing big streets and going longer distances. So I remember that those, and I can't imagine my kids ever doing that now. My friends my kids' friends come over sometimes, like neighborhood kids, and they just want to like, you know, hang out, and I can't get them out. They don't want to go. Just want to be in the room. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, are you serious? One of my happiest
moments is my son asking me like, hey, Dad, we're going to go to the movies and watch a movie as homies.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, why don't you guys go to the mall after and walk around? Like, yes, go. And like as little field trips as they have, like go on a fucking field trip, bro, and just get caught up in some shit. Just don't get in trouble, but like go and see stuff and just do. You're right. And it's providing as many of those opportunities, hopefully, for them to do that stuff, you know, because and being okay with it, because dude, like,
and a lot of it is I feel like they don't know any better, so they don't realize what they're missing out on, and if they just would do it, they'd be like, oh, it's kind of cool.
Yes, but whether you like it or not, or whether you understand it or not, they are probably having the same amount of fun that we are, except it's just so self-contained. Right. Mm-hmm. And I feel that is going to be even more pervasive in the future, where I can literally just put VR headset and I don't have to go to Disneyland because I'm at Disneyland in my headset. I'm watching the new movie on my headset.
Yeah, no, and I understand. I just think what I hope they're not missing out on, and this is anybody, it's not just kids. I think we can talk about adults, almost young adults, in the sense of like 18, 19, 20, 21 year olds even. Like, do the situations that we got into, you can learn from them, being out with your you know, sneaking out and like you learn things just because of going through stuff. Do they have those same lessons if they're not doing it? Just like, I remember buying condoms. Like,
cochino.
And it's like,
cochino.
Mom, apágale.
Putting them on the fucking little thing and being like, for sex. Like, you know, like, going to, like, you know, you have to, at that point in time, you can't be embarrassed, right? Like,
you throw them down on the counter like, yeah, bitch.
Going to Costco, like he did with that big box and shit. Like, and
you turn the box over so they see the size on them.
I remember,
like, yeah, that's right.
I remember going with the home Costco when I was a young adult and having like 2 boxes, and this old lady being like, "At least you're taking care of yourself," and I'm like, "Hell yeah, ma'am! Are you gonna let me get in front of you? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you." Man. Like, it's just, but what I mean is like that little thing of not being embarrassed to where later, like, dude, you can put me in front of people. I'm not worried. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that's a direct correlation, but you go through things and you are forced to like figure stuff out where I hope they don't miss that out if it's just self-contained. Because I hope we never get to the point where life is completely self-contained in the sense of you just have to do this to live. But I don't, who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll be the dinosaur that doesn't get it because that is what it is going.
Well, we know what we know, and everything changes.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah. So I mean that's true, man. I just hope, like I said, that they get those same lessons in other ways, and maybe it just takes a little bit longer because it takes a little longer for them to get out there and do it. But you know, as long as they're able to do it, it's just working where I work. You see so many kids that I'm like, at this age, you can't like have a conversation. Like, what are we doing? Like, that's what worries me, I guess, of the self-contained part of it. You know, I mean, I had a kid I remember who literally would never talk, only online when he was playing video games. And I was no. I would sit in the meetings and be like, nah. Like, no, yeah, he that's what it is. Nah. Like, I'm like,
you don't
imagine my mom.
You don't remember knowing kids growing up when you were young that were maybe like that too?
Probably not, because I didn't hang out with them. I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm just saying I don't think that would be.
No, but like even if they weren't like your homies or whatever, but maybe just kids that you saw around school, yeah.
I'm sure. I just don't think the numbers are as great as they are now.
You don't think so?
No.
Enrique, do you need a virtual hug?
No,
I story about you.
No.
Give you a virtual something else earlier.
No. I'll tell you. I mean, you know me well enough to where you could probably tell I'm not a super outgoing person, and obviously that's how I am. So in high school, I was not one to go just talk to people freely and just easily. The friends I had were mainly because they started talking to me first, and then once I get to know somebody, like, I'll be cool with you and we'll talk, and if we have things in common, we'll have a good time and it'll be good. And then I played a lot of sports, so I knew a lot of people from sports too. But I do remember a lot of kids that just were not very social, and they were just shy, and they didn't have a lot of friends, and they were the kid that you saw kind of standing in the corner by themselves, and you know what I mean? So back then those existed as well, but but I don't know, maybe you guys are around more kids nowadays than I am, obviously, so you guys would have a better idea, at least where you're at, as far as like kind of the
perfect example though. You found your in. Right, whether it was sports or whatever it was.
But I would say that was never the plan for me.
You're right.
It's just,
but it worked.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those kids hopefully found something, right? Where I just like a lot of these kids can't even get to the point of joining a team.
And dude, and I'm gonna tell you, I almost didn't join teams myself because I was so shy. And by the grace of whatever exists, I
by
did.
The power of Grayskull?
Kind of took you to your first thing or whatever.
Well, yeah, my dad pretty much signed me up in Little League. I didn't. If he would have left it up to me, I would have never done it. And then in high school, as a freshman, at PE during PE class, the PE teacher's like, "Hey, they're having signups for baseball. Sign up here." And after playing Little League with some of the guys that were in my PE class, everybody's like, "Yeah, awesome. We're gonna sign up. We're gonna play baseball." And they were like, "Dude, you're gonna sign up, right?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm cool." Like, I wasn't gonna sign up. I wasn't even gonna worry about it. And they were like, "Nah, dude, like, you need to sign up." Like, they forced me to sign up, and that's how I ended up playing. And then once I'm in. But I wouldn't. If it was up to me, I would have never done it.
But I think that's the important thing. Like you said, there was somebody there that kind of forced you to do it. And that's what it has to come down to sometimes, right?
And that's what it's all about, having people force you into things you don't want, because that's the American way, baby. Woo!
I mean, but realistically, if your pops didn't do it, you might have never played, like you said, right? And I mean, I think that's what's important, and maybe that's what's lacking for whatever reason. I mean, you don't have enough of that. You don't have enough opportunities, depending on where you live. you know, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. There could be a lot of things, man. But you're right. I don't think I went to Little League myself. My dad took me to Little League when I was little. Like, you know, like your T-ball, I guess, in my case, right? It was
Well,
T-ball.
yeah, of course, when you're that
Yeah.
little, you're not gonna make a decision. But as an 12-year-old, last year, 11-year-old of Little League, you know, you're old enough to you could kind of fight back. And I fought back. I was like, no, I don't want to.
No.
But it was just me. But it was my just being super shy and being scared of being around new kids that I didn't know. And luckily, he just didn't give a fuck and he signed me up anyways. But
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what it takes, maybe. You know, just kind of like the A-fool, go.
and I just got lucky, man. Like, I don't know what to, like, even like I said, I always think about that. And as a freshman, like, what would have, like, what I would have never done it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I mean, oh, go ahead, Brian.
No, the weird part is that look, I feel I am very introverted, but I was able to navigate between worlds, right? I could hang out with the jocks. I could also hang out with the freaks. I could hang out with the kids that had just come from Mexico, and at least I'm not saying it totally 100% accepted, but tolerated by them, where I you know, I knew the popular kids, and I went between worlds, and I did student council. I was in band, you know, like.
I think no matter, and look, I have freaking 35 Apple products around me right now as we speak, so I'm not gonna shit on this stuff. But no matter what, not having this forces you to do something that maybe you were uncomfortable to do, right? Because you need to be able to say something. You need to be able to. This stuff allows you not to, and it's not just Apple; it's any product, right? You can kind of function without it, right? Where I think we just didn't have that option. And that's that. I think that's all it is, and it doesn't mean that this is bad. Like I said, I have all these for a reason, right? Like, I mean, it makes stuff so much easier. Like,
And trying to spit game, you know, also trying to spit game without knowing, or like, and being awkward. Like, hey, you like this? Yeah, I like. You into Tiny Toons? Me too.
Me too. You like the Animaniacs? Fuck yeah, bro. Me too. Oh, you're walking away? Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
But dude, oh my God. I have students tell me that they can't go into a class to drop a piece of paper off because everybody's going to look at them. And I have to very nicely be like, ain't nobody give a fuck about you. The sooner you realize that, the easier life's going to be for you. They're so involved in themselves, they don't even see you, right? Where I'm like, that's not like some. That's like a lot of students that tell me stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, like, I couldn't wait. You want me to deliver what? Hell yeah, miss. Like, get my
Yeah,
ass
but see,
back, bro.
but that's
let's
you.
go.
But that's you. That's you. I was the same. Like, you're talking about these kids. I was the same way.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And it's just, and you don't go out of your way to be like that. Like, I'm telling you, it's not something you don't wake up thinking, oh, I want to be like this. It's just how you are. Yeah, it's just how you are, and you almost hate that about yourself. You don't want to be like that, but you can't help it. That's just how you are, and you're the opposite. You're all about it. You want to, you know what I mean, like you said. But that's because that's just the human being that you are. That's just how your mind processes things, and other people do it in a different way. Look, you know how I am, bro. Like, what's the famous story about us being in San Diego at that piano bar? Like, I hate that shit, dude. And that's, you know, I don't like that. I'm like that. I want to be able to be at a place like that and have fun and enjoy myself, but I just can't do it. I can't. It's just,
but I think
can't
no matter
help it.
what, you were probably forced into way more situations because of lack of any other way to communicate but be in front of each other. I mean, we had the phone, I guess, right? But even then, shit, I couldn't use my phone half the time because my parents would be pissed. Yeah, brought up my phone bill. It's like, you know, stuff like that. So you're almost forced. Like you said, mate, your homies being like, dude, let's join the team, bro. We play baseball. Come on, let's go. Where now you can kind of like, I'm gonna go over here, and you know, and I think that's why the numbers might be higher.
But think about this though. In my situation in that PE class as a freshman, what if what if I say no at that point and
Mhm.
and we leave that class and those guys that pushed me to sign up aren't around me the rest of the school day?
Mhm.
It never happens. But if we all have that phone, they're blowing my phone up the rest of the day.
Like
You
to
know what
go
I
to
mean?
the team, you mean?
Yeah. So like trying to convince me.
They're cyberbullying him.
No, but what I'm saying is,
baseball.
but what I'm saying though, it would have made it easier. You know, it was harder for me back before for that to kind of play out the way it did. I got lucky that it did, but you know what I mean. So it kind of it's a give and take both ways. I feel like
Because
so
who's to say that you ever even joined baseball in the first place because of that thing?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the reality. So you might not even have these people in your life. I mean,
Right.
and thing, man, I don't think they didn't exist. I know they existed because I can think of people right off the top of my head. I just wonder.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. And dude, I'm not blaming everything on COVID, but I know for a fact that year and a half, 2 years of just kids losing from growing up, and that's not
Yeah.
their fault, man. That's
that's
not their
wild.
It's crazy, dude. Like I couldn't even. Who the hell? Like I knew kids that were social butterflies, that were good students, that completely ate shit during that year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
And I would talk to one of them. I know one. I'm thinking of one in my head right now. I would talk to him on the phone because his mom was so stressed out, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like I know you. This isn't you. But it just wrecked him, bro. It wrecked him. And then he gets back on campus and starts killing it again. But he's one of the ones that figured it out after he came back. A lot of kids did it, man.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it's not their fault.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not, you know. So it's pretty wild though, man. And I don't know, I've heard reports that we're gonna feel these effects till like the next COVID, basically. Stevens is out there saying like till the next time this shit happens.
Forever.
Like
Damn
you
you,
know?
Kraken.
Ah,
Damn you.
happier note, the happy tale of Chinese immigrants coming into San Francisco.
Enrique.
Hey, the sad thing is, bro, the moment you put those fingers up, I knew exactly what the fuck they meant. And we'll be back after this break. All right, guys, and that was the trailer to Warrior, a Bruce Lee story. No, it's not even called that. It's just called Warrior. The HBO Max series.
It's a Cinemax series.
Oh, it is Cinemax. You're right. Sorry,
Yeah,
it
HBO,
is.
on HBO Max, but it's a Cinemax series. About San Francisco. What's the time period?
1890.
1800s.
1887.
Hey, yo, Barca. Hit him with the back of the box.
Hey guys, Warrior. During the Tong Wars in the late 1800s, Sahm, a martial arts prodigy from China, immigrates to San Francisco and becomes a hatchet man for the most powerful Tong in Chinatown. This show stars Andrew Koji as Sam, Olivia Cheng as Toy, Jason Tobin as Young Jun, Kieran Bay as Bill O'Hara. I don't know. Langley Kirkwood as Walter Buckley, Diane Doan as Mai Ling, Dean Yeager as Dylan Leary, and Joanna Vanderham as Penelope Blake, along with a whole bunch of really cool people.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go back to this one. Too many screens. So, Enrique, did you like this?
No.
Hold on. Hey, yo,
Yeah.
Barca. What'd you think of this series so far? 2 episodes.
It's all right.
I knew it, bro. I fucking knew this motherfucker was gonna do this. I knew there was no way he was gonna like this because we liked it.
Best thing ever made.
I know it doesn't matter, but because we made him watch it and he didn't watch it on his terms, God forbid he's fucking like something that somebody else likes.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't just join teams because they peer pressured me into baseball.
I'm sorry. Why don't you just watch something and enjoy it for what it is?
What did you like?
I don't have an app that marks that tells me, bling, it's time
What
to
does
watch
that
your
have to-
Willow.
And what does that
Take your
have to
pills
do with
and your-
anything?
And your Willow.
And what does that have to do with anything? That's exactly my point.
What did you like? What did you dislike?
Listen, the martial arts in this, the stunts in this are amazing.
How bloody it was.
It's
I forgot that.
yes, I originally thought this show was more like Into the Badlands, where it was in this like make believe world, but this is racist San Francisco, America at the end of the 1800s of the yes.
Pause real quick. Sorry, Enrique. Have you seen Into the Badlands?
No.
I completely forgot about that show. Good call, Barker. That's pretty cool. You should watch that. Barker, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's
Wait,
good
hold
to
on.
see
You
it.
like Barker? You like Into the Badlands?
It's whatever to me.
It didn't finish, right? It got cut off in the middle
Yeah.
of it too, I think. Yeah, so it kind of
Yeah.
does that.
It's like a martial arts in
Mad Max.
in like a Mad Max world.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But it's cool though. The martial arts is awesome. Okay, so continue. What do you got, Barker?
So I can see the Bruce Lee influence. You know, the from the moves to kind of that cocky swagger. It is as I want to say it's as close as to Bruce Lee's Kung Fu, the television show that he was working on, as we'll ever see. But because he never made that show, like I can't even I don't feel that's an adequate description of it, right?
And they say allegedly this is based on some stories.
Based on some writings. The 2 episodes so far that I've seen it's telling me my camera went away. Can you see me?
Yeah,
I can see.
Okay. All right. So I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm going to keep watching it. I'm going to keep checking it out.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No,
well, yeah, because we're doing this for the show, bud.
Doing it, bro.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But one of the things you said, and I do agree with you, is that one of the things because I honestly I'm liking rewatching it because I forgot a lot of things.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
fucking
still
amazing, bro.
Cool. But it does do a ton of world building in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
It introduces a lot. And you're just kind of like, yo, okay. And it is kind of funny. Barker, you said this earlier. We were talking about it. How you think the sister's going to be like, finding the sister's going to be the whole first season.
That was the MacGuffin, and they find her in 20, 30 minutes.
And you're like,
and then she's like, nah, fool, go back to China.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? And then the next scene, he's getting the Tong brand on his arm. Yeah. And so then you're like, oh, how's he going to get away from the Tongs? And then cut to the next episode, and he gets his ass
the mayor's
whooped.
wife, and then the mayor's wife
for being
character.
a metiche.
I know, but
I didn't freeze,
I know.
That was just my face.
I know. I forgot about that too.
The politics of it.
I fucking love this show.
The politics of it is fine. It's not.
But
I'm not going back for the politics. I want to know more about the world. I will tell you what takes me out. What has taken me out of it is that they're speaking Chinese, and then it's this weird like
I love that. I love that.
Hey, buddy. Well, yes, but you don't like to read. Like, I don't mind reading subtitles.
No, but
I don't mind it when it's them. If that makes any sense, when like it does it did like a kind of a thing, right, to let you know. But then when somebody who speaks English comes in, I like into my mind, I'm like, oh crap, okay, wait, okay, like it I don't know, it is a little weird. Like maybe, and for my dumb self, I would love every time for it to let me know it's doing it. If that makes any sense, like
no, I love that they don't constantly do it. I love that they did it once in episode 1 and then do it again, and then they do it again in episode 2 when the mayor's wife comes in.
True. That's true.
And she's talking to them in English, and the one Chinese kid that can speak English is like, hey, they don't understand you. So then they do it to where the Tong guys are speaking back in what's the language? I don't want to be insensitive here.
Mandarin,
is it Mandarin? And they're speaking to her in Mandarin, and they do that so you can see that that's how they speak. They don't know English.
And they don't do it ever again? Enrique,
no, they do it once in episode 1, and they do it that one time in episode 2.
They don't do it in episode 3.
I don't know. I think they do it less and less as you go on, because you only have to get that. They only do that when there's only English speaking characters talking to only Mandarin speaking characters when they're interacting, and all the other scenes where if it's Mandarin with Mandarin, but obviously we're getting English because it's an American film show, and the character and the actors can speak English, we get English. So they don't go through the trouble of giving you that little effect.
Now, and I'm asking this. I'm thinking about this as you guys were talking about it. Does his English change when he's going? Like he has his English Mandarin to Mandarin. Is it any different when it's English, like the mayor's wife and him?
No, but he speaks English.
He speaks
remember?
English.
I get that, but is it any different?
No, because that's
It
how he
would-
speaks.
It would be so horrible if they were two Mexican characters and when one's like, yeah, so you know, Enrique, I think this, and then he's like, oh, we don't know.
That's what I was worried. I'm like, it doesn't do that.
No.
Right? I was trying to think of that. Like, no, okay,
Pretty white
No, no,
lady,
no.
he don't speak good.
exactly.
No,
And
no,
he's
no.
the
Yeah,
only one other than
Yeah,
the ponytail guy. He's
right.
the only
And
one
and the mayor's wife's like assistant.
the helper. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does she call him? I forget. But yes, I know
His
who you're
name
talking
is Jacob, bro.
No, but but they call him something, right? Like everybody says.
She's
you're-
his valet, her valet.
LA. There we go. Okay, so that's something that you don't like. What else? Is there anything else that you're like, kind of like?
The politics of it so far, like I see again, they're building. They're gonna build China, or not China. I'm sorry. From Chinatown, they're gonna build San Francisco and put in the trolley cars and all this thing. What becomes modern day underwater San Francisco,
Yeah.
the water world that is San Francisco right now. I need to keep. I kind of enjoyed this. Seeing him more in this one than in the first one. A lot of sexiness in the show.
What?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not
But there is.
I'm not
a lot.
happy about it. It's like, all right, cool.
But I think that kind of goes away too, right, Enrique? I feel like it's heavy at the beginning. That kind of just it's not that it goes away completely, but you could tell they kind of like I don't know. It
Better
feels like,
not.
come on, and they kind of go from there. To me, what I didn't again, and it's been fun kind of seeing it again because I'm like, oh yeah, is it how a lot of these conversations that I hear these guys having the in the pubs, I'm like, bro, these conversations are happening in bars right now, dude, and like
they took her jobs, dig it.
We came to this country too. They're coming to this country to take our job. Like, bro, you're mad about the same thing. They're doing what
The same thing that they did. Yeah.
And then I love when they make fun of the other cop, our boy,
The Southerner,
The guy from Georgia.
yes,
Richard Lee.
Because it's like they keep, oh yeah, you fought for the South and yada. I'm like, bro, what? You're doing just as bad as what he was fighting for, and you don't even. And he even says, I didn't believe in those things. Like it's not me, but like it's just that it's so funny to see the hypocrisy that these people are having, because I think it's a hypocrisy that like we have now. You know, and it's just wild. Stevens, what do you think so far after 2 episodes of the series?
I'm enjoying it. I do like the history and the period of it all, and I like the fighting. The fighting is really good. I'm not a big politics in shows and movies fan. But it's interesting to see the history mixed in. So like that's the part of the show where I start to tune out, is when they're all playing against each other a little bit. But I do like I like seeing the South come into the North, especially Northwest, right? I like seeing the immigrants, that mutation of how it changes from one culture to another, right? I like I think like one of the best parts was when they're in the brothel with Atoy. Is that her name? The headmistress.
Yeah.
I like when she's like, hey, you're not in China anymore, right? Like you need to give it some time because things are very different here.
You think you know everything.
Yeah. You can't come in and be here a day and like, spouting off all this stuff because you don't know how things work here. So you need to slow down. I like that. And it's just cool. I do like the time period. I like the story so far. I like that, he comes in and kicks some ass right away and it's like, I'm on a mission. And now he's not on that mission, so let's find out what's going to happen, right? Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Different than what I thought it was, because I thought it was something else.
What'd you think it was going to be?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I thought it was going to be like a modern, not kickboxer, but like wrestling kickboxer kind of thing. I think the movie, right? I think that's what the movie is, and I think that's what I thought this was. So I was like, I'm not really gonna like this, but I do like it. I like it so far.
One thing that and again, loving it, is that they give you so much Bruce Lee in the first time you see him, from the lip,
yep,
to the way he stands, to the way he kicks them. And I'm just like, oh, dude, that's so cool that they're like, hey, Bruce Lee fans, you're going to see this. You know this is familiar to you.
Yep.
Because I feel like later when they fight, there's a lot of different, like one of my favorite characters is Young Jun.
Mm-hmm.
My boy with the knives, bro. Like, he goes hard, man. And you see how much of a psycho he is and stuff like that. And I think it's really, really cool. I don't mind, and the politics or whatever, I guess, but I like our guy that is basically he's kind of like between the Americans and I like his character, right? Because it's always
he's a hustler. He's a hustler.
Like, he's a sellout, right? But
yeah,
you see his like the progression, and like it's now I'm starting to remember other things about the other episode. I'm like, oh yeah,
But that's what I was gonna say is I going back and watching the first two episodes because I know how it plays out. I can see it with those eyes where I know where it's going, so it's like, oh, it's gonna get so good. But I understand if you don't know where it's gonna go, it can be frustrating at this point because, like Barca, you were saying, is they're leading up to him finding his sister. He finds her, and it's like, okay, well, that's gone. So now what's gonna happen? So you don't really see the progression of where it's gonna lead. But there's a reason. There's a reason why he finds her very early, because the show's not even about that. That was just what they did to introduce you to these characters.
It seems like everybody's bad in this show, so I can't really say like the villain or whatever. But Dylan Leary, I like him. I like him as that dude. Like when the guy's like, "I want to fight you," he's like, "I'll meet you in the back." Like don't worry about it. Let me finish my conversation. Let me finish this beer, and then we go.
Well, it's the guy you fucking hate, but he's so good. He's so good.
He is good, and he is about his life. Like he is about his workers, and like he's horrible, but for like I'm like we live today for that group. That's their hero. Like that, because he's doing whatever it takes to get these dudes, to get them work. Like he's taking care of that group.
He's about it, right? He's not just all talk. Like,
yeah, he is about it. Bill O'Hara, the cop, like when you see his home life,
yeah,
bro, like with like 9 kids, just like
And the progression of that character, guys, is awesome. Yes. It's fucking great, and that's why I hope you guys are in as far as like continuing to watch this, because I'm telling you, if for whatever reason at this point you're a little iffy about it, it gets so much better.
Because even Lee, our Southerner, like he has a he's and that's already getting tested. Like episode 1, it's already getting tested. You know?
And you can tell that character there is a reason why he's in California, right? There's a reason why a Southerner is
that mystery is there already. Yeah,
and I enjoy that he is very much using the new science.
Oh yeah,
He's like, what? Yeah. Well, you keep writing that. I just had wrong accent, but what do you keep writing?
I love when he has the guts in his hand.
So would you mind putting his guts back in? Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. But he's really trying to figure this out, right? Like, like you said, he's using the science. So, go ahead.
To me, right now, the mayor and his wife are the least interesting things, because they are probably going to do what they need to do to stay in power and to get those contracts kind of going. And maybe though, I feel like these are my predictions, that the wife is she's like, no, you don't understand these. You don't know them like I know them. You guys are full of crap. You know,
Well, the wife was pretty much forced to marry this guy because you can tell from the very beginning, like he wants no part of that. Like he fucking hates her, right? Like the way he teases her, like, dude, that's dirty. But I see you.
he's like, I am government or something like that.
But also the way she teases him.
Well, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Oh, I just did him to her. I'm all bro.
No. The way she teases him, I'm like, oh, that's dirty. But I see you.
And then he goes and gets, because he's a dude in the mask, right?
Yeah.
At the brothel, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
The guy that works in the mayor's office, the other guy, the guy with the half a leg.
Oh yes,
dude, I hate him so bad already. I already hate him, and I know exactly kind of how it plays on, but you see a lot of character development from him, and he plays a big role in everything that plays out. So I hate him so much. But he's good.
A character, right? That like pulls the strings.
Yeah.
Like he plays everybody, right? Like he's trying to come out on top at the end. Like that's what he wants or whatever. Abarca, where do I? And it just seems really familiar. The gang leader. If I say this wrong, Hun Lee. Isn't that the gang leader of the Hatchet Men? Where's he from?
From the Tongs?
Yeah, the Tongs.
Yeah, we've seen him in something.
But he has like the Fetty Wap eye, like the cloudy eye. I feel like he's from something, like, but I couldn't remember. Let me click on him right now.
Is it Perry Young? Is that him?
Oh, I thought it was Hun Lee. Am I looking at a different person? Oh no, Hun Lee's the one that sells.
No, Hun Lee's Hun Lee's the hustler.
Okay, so what's the name of that character, Enrique?
Father Yun?
Yes.
Yeah, that's him.
The other one's Young.
Yeah.
Okay, duh, that makes sense. Where is he from? Oh, there we go. Perry Young. Thank you. That's what you said. I'm trying to look at right here. John Wick, but that's not where I remember him from. I just feel like he's been in other martial arts stuff that I've seen, but I could be wrong. Because that's a lot of like Law and Order, things like that. The Blacklist. So actually, almost no. Yeah, I guess not. He looked familiar for me for martial arts stuff for some reason. I guess I'm wrong though.
You probably saw him in John Wick.
Maybe.
Because I think he's been...
Maybe it's the look of the character because it's the eye and stuff. Yeah, like maybe it's the look that is familiar.
Oh, he was in Boogie. That's maybe what I'm thinking too. You guys ever see that? This Asian kid in San Francisco trying to play basketball professionally. I think he's the dad in that. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, I love his character though. Like I don't like him, but he's doing a good job of me not liking him, right? Because he runs it. Like he's the dude or whatever. You know?
No, but he's. Oh yeah, he's a Tong. So the other one, I'm thinking of the other guy too, of the sister.
It's so interesting to see the Tong leader, powerful, strong, and then seeing the leader of the other group
with the shaky hand.
Yeah, like and I love that. That's a great scene, right? Like look at my hand. I used to be able to crush somebody, like, you know, so I don't even know what he says, his throat or something, but now I look, right? And he's kind of like, you don't understand everything. Like, I know what I'm doing. And they completely don't think he has an idea what's going on. And that kind of thing.
Well, they're just bad. He wants to do everything with good intentions. Yeah. And even though they're playing a dirty game, but he wants to keep the peace.
Yes.
And the people that he trusts in his organization are wanting the complete opposite. Yeah. And that's kind of heartbreaking because without going into what ends up happening, you know, it's sad that but he can't stop it at the same time, you know, because he's older and he's weak and like his time has passed.
Yeah, it's that old gunman. It's the old martial arts person that we've seen in the movies and stuff like that. You know,
it's time for new blood, especially when this new generation is much more violent than the past one, right? They want it more. They're Clubber Lang, if you will.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Side note, guys, I didn't even know this. Hunters 2 is coming out already. I don't know if you guys. I know. I think Enrique, you watched that, didn't you?
What?
The
Which one?
Nazi Honey show.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't even know season 2 was done. It's dropping this month.
I did watch that.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro, right?
Yes. No.
Al Pacino.
Pacino. Thank
Al
you very
Pacino.
much. I know. I just saw that on when I was looking at information about this show. That's cool. I didn't even know that. So, anyways, so 2 episodes in, like I said, I'm loving it again. Going through it, we got some positives, some things that again I think will go away a little bit with like they're done world building. Now let's get into stories. One thing the show does do that's pretty cool is like one episode's like this type of like they do a Western episode, which I love. Like,
is that in season? Is that in season 2 or is it in this season?
It's a while
Yeah.
away. Yeah. Is that the same as? No, then they have the Michael Bigsby episode tournament. Like there's
that's all that season 2. Yeah,
That's
it's
all-
season 2 because they go to Mexico. Remember?
Yes. They go to Mexico in season like so.
So that's the that Western one is when they're during their journey down to Mexico. Yeah.
So they got some cool stuff that they kind of go into and stuff like that. And it's good. And this is coming back for a season 3. Stevens, is there anything about or is it just fall of 23 as of right now?
I did not see dates when I was looking, but let me see.
Sharon Lee is the executive producer in this, correct? So I saw.
And Enrique you said that there's actually a podcast where she would talk about each episode, or was it just a show in general, Enrique?
I think just the show in general.
And she had different people from the show on it. You said on the podcast.
Yeah, I think so. I think Barco, don't you listen to her podcast still, or?
I follow her on social media, but I don't listen to the podcast because she doesn't listen to mine. Sharon, come on.
Sharon Lee, hey, give us a little bit of love. We'll make sure we listen to your podcast and stuff like that. But yeah, no, for sure. I remember Enrique, you told me you listened to it, and it kind of went with the show and stuff like that. But
everything it says is just sometime 2023.
And the only thing with HBO Max is like, hopefully, bro, like. That's
hey, did Wednesday get canceled on Netflix?
No, I already said yes.
Nah, baby, season 2.
Mm-hmm.
What was something got canceled here recently? I saw that was like
Westworld.
They took it off of HBO Max. Yeah. No, there was something. I don't know. I was thinking that was it, but it was
Warrior Nun got canceled. Westworld, some comedies, and they started taking other stuff away. It's a mess.
It's interesting, man. We'll see where it goes. But this, we will continue. What we're going to do, though, anything else, Enrique, you wanted to add? Tell people about it.
I'm having a lot of fun going back to it. There's a lot that I forgot, and knowing where it's going to go, I might just keep watching, and then when we go back to it, watch it again.
Go back. I think I'm better at watching a series 1 episode a week because it forces me to only watch 1 episode. Where when I do this thing, I really like a series, I'll muscle through it. But then that last episode, when I should have went to bed, I'll miss like a third of it. And then like I wake up and I don't want to go back and watch that third because I want to find out what happens. So like watching Tulsa King has been amazing because I can only watch 1 a week. So I think I am better at that. And this, when I watched it, we could watch everything, remember? It was all
and
there.
You also have that week in between to kind of process everything that you watched.
That was crazy. Oh yeah. And then when it does the whole last week, you're like, I forgot. So I'm kind of glad that I'm going back because I think I'm going to pick up on a lot of things that I was like, oh crap, I didn't even know that happened or whatever, because I was trying to get to because I wanted to see what happened or whatever.
There's a lot of cool shots in the show too, like when they come out, when he gets put in, like he's part of the gang and he's got his fucking nice suit on and they come out walking. That looks so fucking cool. Like there's a lot of cool shots like that. The show has a lot of that.
The guy hits him with the billy club, and he just kind of goes to the side, and he kind of like that's cool. I'm like, oh shit, like that was a cool little look, to it.
Yeah, that guy's really good. He's really good at like you guys were saying. I mean, you can see the fight scenes are all done very well, and he's a badass.
Yeah, he plays the character very, very well. Our main character, I like that. Stevens, does he make the top 5 list?
Oh yeah, does he?
Maybe because some of those guys are in there. I was like, because it's not just looks for me, right? It's also like characters and who they are in the thing. So I know. But yeah, there's some attractive guys in here.
Yeah,
and some hairy guys.
It's gonna be a lot of hair, goddammit. You just watch Chippendales. You're used to it, all right, Steven? 70s, 80s hair.
Of the hair? No.
Right?
When men were
And the
men.
mustaches were flying.
Yeah, they were. They were. All right, Steve. All right. So that is our first 2 episodes. We're gonna take a break. Like we're gonna switch back to a movie for next week, and after that, we'll come back to the show. Jump ahead if you want to. Come back and see it after. But it's awesome. If you like it, you'll probably go ahead because it's really, really good. But next week, Stevens, what the hell are we watching?
I'm not quite sure. I know it's called Crazy Samurai Musashi. It was made or released in 2020.
Okay.
It is an hour and 31 minutes, and you can find it for free on Tubi, Vudu, Amazon Prime Video, Plex. I heard it was on Hiya.
And on John's channel, which is called what, John?
You.
And I can tell you it's the world's first 77-minute one-take action film sequence.
So is this the whole movie? 77 minutes?
The fight, that last scene is 77 minutes.
It's a 10-minute movie with 77 minutes of fight.
This is like one take, bro. One take. One shot. They're like, oh yeah, you think you're pretty bad, Buck? Or no, the Protector. Which one was it?
The Protector.
Yeah, you think you're cool, bro? Yeah, check this out.
I'm intrigued. We'll see how they pull it off.
It's also, if you can't find it under that title, it's Crazy Samurai 400 versus 1.
Guess how many people he kills?
Well, guess why it takes 77 minutes? He's got to kill 400 people.
He's just gonna be like going through it the whole time. Yeah. Enrique looks confused, like he doesn't know.
No. I'm just trying to picture it in my head. Like, it seems impossible for them to pull this off. But hey, we'll find out.
I hope it's bloody.
Like for reals?
What?
One shot? Like it's a single shot?
Have you seen this? You've seen this?
This is super recommended by a different podcast that puts on a thing at Comic-Con.
Wow.
And by our Comic-Con Asian movie vendor. He's like, this is the one, guys.
Huh?
But he recommended Baby Assassins and recommended this one.
Oh, and he didn't steer us wrong with Baby Assassins, so let's see what's up with this one, man. Maybe this will be another banger. And available everywhere. That's super awesome. Enrique, if they want to leave us a message to get a hold of us, where can they do that?
They can go to our link tree, linktr.ee/Gung-Fu Super Bros.
Abarca, if they want to leave us a message, is that phone still available? And where can they do it?
I don't know. Enrique, is it still available?
We got an email saying it was being disconnected because nobody uses it.
You know what, guys?
Fuckers.
So why don't you let us know so we can call?
We all get the email.
No. If you see it first, then I can't see it.
I never look at them. They just pop up my notification. I never open them.
Yeah, no, I haven't got that.
We'll figure it out for next week. So that's the case, guys.
No one calls anyways. Who cares?
How dare you?
Doesn't matter.
Hey, Abarca, say bye.
Hey, mahalo, folks.
Enrique.
Bye.
Super Producer Stevens.
Bye.
And remember, my name's Ivan. Love you guys. I have no quote for the end of this show, but I will tell you, watch Last of Us this weekend, y'all. The weekend that we're filming it. All right? Check that out. I'm super excited. Sorry, Abarca. I hope it's amazing.
That comes out this week?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
When, Friday?
On Monday, they're dropping a new trailer for The Mandalorian Season 3.
He can do both.
No, he can't. I heard they don't even have face masks in this movie.
Because I've heard this show is a banger, bro.
Not without the face masks.
So watch it. Check it out. Wu-Tang, motherfuckers.